my session now, so we good. Great morning though. Thank y'all for coming on. TP, thanks for having me. Uh, I want to start out just by introducing myself. My name is Jawon Chisholm, entrepreneur, CEO, motivator, plenty of other things. Uh, Ex NFL player, University of Akron graduate. That's the most important graduate. Uh, Started there, had fun there, had a great time there. Now I'm back in my hometown, which is Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, and serving dang near all of the 717 from kids to the age of 60. So it's been an honor to be back here and to be on phone calls like this with like-minded people. Going a little bit into my story, a little bit after the football. I don't like to talk too much about the football. The football is a football. That's not who you are as a human. Uh, Coming out of football, I got into a little bit of depression, anxiety, things of that nature. Some of us may know what I'm talking about. If you don't, I got up to 260 pounds about 3, 4 years ago during the COVID time. Now that was the heaviest I ever been in my life. I had one decision. That one decision was Jawon looks in the mirror, right? As we all do sometimes. We like to look in that mirror, or we got accountability partner, whoever that is. I looked in the mirror. That was my accountability partner. I said 260 can't be here no longer. I remember telling my wife of that day, like, I'm gonna get back to my playing days, right? And some of us all say that, right? We're gonna get back down to how we were when we was 20, how we were when we were 30. Uh, but the fact of the matter was, if I ever put my mind to something, I was going to do it, and I was going to crush those goals, and then I was going to succeed those goals, and then I was going to maintain those goals. Not only was I going to do it, just to prove somebody wrong, but it was to prove myself right. And I think that's what need to get more into today is proving ourselves right. It's not about proving nobody wrong because they're not going to be there when you prove them right anyway. It's all about proving yourself right, and when you prove yourself right, then we come from within. You happy from within. You do things from within. So today that led to me training over 250 people in the short span of 2 years. I think about 2 years and 3 months in. Well over 250 people and motivating people from all over the world. My social media went from 4K from my playing days to we're at 104,000 now just on one platform. So it's really more about reaching the people and being on phone calls like this to share that journey and to share that story and to tell y'all that it is possible and everything is possible. All right. So I got a couple notes down here. I won't hold y'all long. I know TP give me about 30 minutes. The first thing I want to touch on is mindset and motivation. All right. Mindset and motivation. I like to say perseverance and consistency is two different things. Why are they two different things? Persistence is persistence and perseverance is I'm doing this through heartaches, headaches, people stabbing at me, people doing whatever they can at me. Life's going on. I got kids. I got a wife. Life's nagging. I'm going through depression. I'm going through anxiety, consistency. I'm just waking up each day and I'm doing the same thing. So I like to say throughout this journey, I've been persistent. I've been able to persevere through all of the storms. Uh, Everything that has came my way, I defeated. Thank God to that first. But perseverance and consistent is two different things. All right. So I like to say that we're more persistent than consistent. All right. And going into it, what are you willing to sacrifice? For me, I was willing to sacrifice a lot to get to where I'm at today. And that's not the playing days. The playing days was the easiest days because that was for Jawon. Who are you willing to help on this road? Who are you willing to bring into your zone and into your area to help take to the next level? For me, it was grabbing these kids first. I remember when my mom passed away 3 years ago from an overdose, and she looked me dead in her eyes. And in times of maybe her hardest days ever. I remember her looking me dead in my eyes, right? And she got black circles underneath her eyes. She's just not doing right. I wasn't doing the best at this time either. It's about 5 years ago, and she looked me dead in my eyes and was like, "Jawon, you need to get back out here. You need to start lifting weights for whatever that was worth, right?" I'm like, lifting weights. What does that even mean, right? Mama know best though, right? Mama know best. So I'm like lifting weights, helping these kids out. And I'm just like, man, where's she going with this? I couldn't even see it myself at the time. But today, that's just what I'm doing, helping kids, helping adults take their lives to the next level, motivating the world one person at a time, one video at a time, one conference at a time. So I've been to multiple talking engagements now. I've been just left out of the mayor's office from getting invited there. So the consistency is one thing, but persistence. I persisted through it all to be in the doors that I'm in now, to meet the people that I meet now, to inspire the people that I inspire now. So I always say, one day at a time. Everybody tries to cure everything within one day, but it's not going to happen. It takes that persistence each day, each day. You might have to take 2 steps back. Why? To get that one step over, because that one step that you can't get over it because you haven't took those 2 steps back. Once you take those 2 steps back, and then you learn from them 2 steps, you're going to graduate to that next step. And once you pass that next step, then you're going to go to that next step. Then you might have to take 2 more steps back. But it's all about being persistent. It's all about staying medium and at times of chaos. I remember one thing Coach James Saxton, my Steelers running back coach, said to me, Jawon, you can never get too high. You can never get too low. Always stay in that medium. I never knew what it was at the time, but as I'm 33 today, I understand it more clear than ever. So if anybody's out there going through anything and you got a high right now, thank God for that, right? Even if you got that low, thank God for that. But we always want to stay in that medium. All right. I got another one. Uh Happiness and growth comes from within. Can't no external things give that to you. Money can't give it to you. Cars can't give it to you. Girls can't give it to you. Everything that you have is going to come from within. The true happiness is going to come from within. Giving it all to God, understanding that God is the root of everything anyway. So in order to take that next step and in order to take that next leap, give it all to God. You put the work in. You put the work in. So what was my purpose? I never really knew my purpose after I got out of football, because my purpose all my life been football. That's all I've been told. I never knew that I had a purpose. Uh, my purpose was, when I got out, I worked at the YMCA. I worked at Pepsi on the floor on my knees, filling up soda racks and soda coolers. And I worked in warehouses. And I'm like, I drove trucks all over the world. I'm like, man, this can't be my purpose, God. I used to pray all the time, like, man, this can't be my purpose. I know I got a bigger purpose than this. Mm-hmm. But once again, I had to go through all of these variations. I had to go through all of these steps in order to get to where I'm at today. And you don't understand those steps that you're going through. But in the midst of chaos, you're going to find your purpose, because you're just going to keep going and you keep going. You keep putting positivity into the world. You keep putting positivity into the world. You have no idea what this life can become. Long as you stay persistent on that pursuit of happiness and you stay on top of your game and you giving it to God every day, you have no chance of failing. Also, that same time that I used to work at Pepsi on in those coolers on my knees, in the warehouses, uh, wherever that was, and I talk about being happy within, right? Those same people that used to cheer for you when you was at your high, the NFL, college star, high school star. So I never really felt the sense of low, the low that I felt as an adult when it was all over. So all of that stuff was external things. Everything was outside. Jawon really never knew who he was within. And I know a lot of us don't know who we are within. So I say that to say this: those same people will walk past me. The same people that used to cheer me used to walk past me at those Pepsi coolers, at those warehouses. Jawon wasn't the same Jawon. So that was hard for me to swallow. So over time, I had to understand that everything comes from within. Mm-hmm. All right. You can't give a man or a woman the glory that you can give God. You believe in a man and woman, but God is the ultimate. That's the favorite. That's who's going to take you to the next level. That's who knows everything about you. We out here too busy oppressing the wrong crowd, and the wrong crowd usually leads you the wrong way. Mm-hmm. Another thing was, I never really knew how, after football, I never knew how to take that mask off. And I'm not talking about a mask, black mask. I'm talking about that external mask, that mask that I never even knew was on me. And once I took the mask off, Jawon got to see the ultimate him. I got to be free. I got to smile. Smiling is, man, that's probably one of the most underrated things that people take for granted. You know, people was like just mad every day. Mm-hmm. I go through it on a daily basis. Just recently on what was that? Not Halloween. It was a holiday parade for Halloween. It was a lady who, we was parked in the alleyway. I had to wait on my son. My son's 5 years old. My wife had to go get him out of the parade, which is down the street. So we had to park in the alley to delay it. And this lady's coming down the alleyway. Now, glory to her, right? She starts going all off, cussing me out, and everything. And I always say this: You never know who's watching, because 5, 6 years from before past time, I probably would have snapped out and would have got into a confrontation. But once again, this is a lady. Uh, I probably would have been confrontational. Let's go back and forth. But over time, I learned that that doesn't get you nothing anyway. You're not going to win. It's always a lose. Negative can't meet negative. You're going to clash. I just told her God bless her, and she still kept going on and on after that. But the most important thing that I took from that, my wife told me later on that day, my daughter said, "Wow, Daddy grew. Daddy grew." And why did he grow? Because 5 years prior, she would have seen me. I would have been arguing back and forth. So once again, everything comes from within. You got to find that peace from within. And only how I got to that point is by taking that day by day, being persistent, understanding throughout life, I'm happy from within. And if you ain't happy from within, you can never grow. All right. Any questions before we get going? Any questions? All right. So today, as I'm here right now, I'm outside of the gym, about to go in for a 7 o'clock. And I got a note here and it says, you have to feel like it even when you don't feel like it. I heard TP say something about this in one of the prior meetings that you guys had. Basically, you have to feel like it when you don't feel like it. On those days that you got that big win that you've been going 3 to 5 years for, say you've been going 3 to 5 years and you finally get that big win, and guess what? You chill out. It's somebody on your butt. It's somebody that want that job. It's somebody that want that position. It's somebody that wants what you have. And you waited all this time just to get there, just to scale it back. It ain't no scaling back. One thing that I do understand and I believe is one reason why I'm where I'm at today. And that's first through God. And second is I'm just a savage at whatever I do. I refuse to be beat. You're not gonna beat me. I don't care who you are. And if you beat me, you deserved it. I'm gonna go every inch, I'm gonna go every mile, I'm gonna go whatever it is to be the greatest human, to be the hardest worker, to be the best at what I do. I'm gonna wake up each day, rain, sleet, snow, or hell, I'm gonna do it. So if you're willing to make it to that finish line and just completely stop, you got another thing coming for you. Why work that hard just to stop? I see so many people on my page daily. Because I post the fat pictures and then I post where I'm at today. People say, how much time did that take? And I never said, I say one thing, don't count the days, make the days count. And a lot of people think I'm being smart, but the fact of the matter is I never counted the days. I just made every day count through the persistence. Once again, back to the persistence. So I don't give you a time frame, because basically what you're telling me is, if I told you I took 12, if I told you it took 12 months for me, and then you do it for 12 months and you don't get the goals that you see from within me, you're gonna quit. So another thing I catch out of that is, what God had for me ain't what he has for you. And your time frame won't be my time frame. It may be shorter. But also, I don't know what you did to get there. You don't know what I did to get there. For all you know, I could have cheated to get there. So the main thing is to focus on what you need to focus on. Be great at what you're great at. Wake up each day. Don't count the days, make the days count. And be a savage at whatever you do. I don't care if you work at the diner and you busting tables. Be a savage at whatever you do. If that person's making 10 and your goal is to make 50, go make that 50. Only how you're gonna have that is through a work ethic, through persistence, and through a savage mentality. And whatever that savage means to you. If you don't want to use the word savage, whatever that means to you. I refuse to be beat at whatever I do. And I always tell people, I'm not going to do nothing if I'm not going to give my all into it. I get asked to coach so many times throughout these last 2 years, just from people seeing me interact with the kids and what I get out of the kids. I reach the kids from a different level of what I do now because of how I can reach them. Now, if I was to get into coaching, there's no telling if I can reach them the same way, because my style's a little bit more raw. It's a little bit more authentic. I don't know if every parent can take that. That's why only the certain parents that does come here understands that. So once again, be persistent, one day at a time. Don't count the days, make the days count. And I got another one. Right now, this would be God talking, right? This probably, I went to my counselor the other day. I go to therapy every Thursday, and one thing that I do know right now, somebody in here, because it's supposed to be like one out of every 10 people. I think we got 10 people in here. It's somebody right now. It's the transparent part. There's somebody in here right now suffering from some type of an addiction. That can be gambling, that can be drugs, that can be sex, that can be whatever it is. I'll say this. Where you at today is not going to be where you at tomorrow. Work on yourself one day at a time. Be great, be relentless. Know that there are setbacks, there are fallbacks. Uh, my mom died of an overdose 3 years ago. I grew up in a household with mom and dad both on drugs. My dad just passed 5 months ago. Uh, all of my aunts and uncles were addicted. Uh, I suffer from addiction from leaving right after college and pro football. I got into the realm of that. So I say that to say this. Somebody in here, I'm talking to somebody, whoever that is. It can be nobody. You might know somebody that knows somebody. Understand that it takes one day at a time. You got to want it yourself. You got to seek help. You got to do the internal things to make it to that next step. It does get better no matter where you at. Keep on putting the work in. Each day is a day that you're going to be proud of yourself. Be proud of yourself every day. And I go back to say it. Don't count the days. Make the days count. And you'll get through it slowly by surely. So I know I'm talking to somebody, or I'm talking to somebody that needs to talk to somebody. Tell them where you at today is not going to be where you at tomorrow. And it is possible to do whatever you need to do to make it to that next step. I seen my dad suffer for 20 to 25 years just to get it right. At 55, he died at 62. He died with 5 houses he owns 5 houses, had his own truck, had his own business. So it's never too late. All the theories that it's too late, it's never too late. And that's in life in general. It's never too late. It's never too late. Had to get that off my chest. But I'm not gonna hold y'all too long. I'm Jawon Chisholm. Thanks for listening to me. TP, thanks for having me. Much love to everybody. Everybody have a great morning, and just continue to take it one day at a time. Don't count the days, make the days count.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Guys, do me a favor. Jump in the chat. Just give my guys a big thank you. You can come off of mute real quick. We got like 4 minutes. I know he gotta get in
Thank
for
you,
a training.
Jawon.
We need to
Thank
get
you,
off
Yes,
here at
ma'am.
Jawon.
7.
Everyone. Thank
Thank y'all.
you.
Appreciate that,
Thank
Jawon.
you.
Thank you. Have a great
Thank y'all
day.
for listening. Yes,
Thank you,
ma'am.
Joel. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
So
Thank
check
you,
this out.
guys.
Check this out, Jawon. This was a perfect timing because just yesterday, the mindset that we're trying to adopt, you said savage. I was telling everybody in this community that we're in for a dog fight, right? And you shared some of your personal stories, some of your personal testimony. I shared with them. My mom overcame breast cancer. My wife lost a kid. I was in jail. I lost my scholarship. All the pain and all that stuff that I went through birthed my purpose. And a lot of times when we go through stuff, we let it kill us. We let it stop our momentum. We let it defeat and define us. How can we start shaping that savage mindset, that mindset that says, regardless of what I go through, this will propel me, this will push me to my next level. This will not defeat me or won't destroy me, but I have to use this in order to push myself. How can we get that mindset?
Man, you gotta take it's one day at a time, like I always say. Be willing to do what the next man's not willing to do or the woman's not willing to do. If that's waking up at 3 in the morning to go do your daily, whatever that is, if that's every day you counting and you making something happen different every day. My mindset when I wake up each day is I don't got time to have a groggy mind. I don't have time to be mad. I have gratitude. I woke up. My mom and dad's not here. I got cousins that's not here. I just seen 2 murders up close in my life. I understand how that felt, how it still feels. They're not here. Like nobody cares. You just got to keep
Mm-hmm.
on going. This is life.
Mm-hmm.
If you think somebody's gonna sit there and write to a sound story, then you're wrong. I knew one thing, like you just said, your baby died, right? So one thing that you know when that happened, and when you were in jail, and when mommy had breast cancer, guess what? That next hour, life still went on. That next day, life still went on. That next week, life still went on. That next month, life still went on. That next year, life still went on. That's what messed me up the most. I'm like, life still going? Yeah, life still going. This is life.
Mm-hmm.
Don't nobody
Mm-hmm.
care, bro. Work harder. That's all it is, man. It's sad to say, but don't nobody care, man. Everybody got
No,
their own life to worry about. You got to just keep going, bro.
that's good. That's
You got
good.
to keep going.
And with how raw that is the honest to God truth. Because I know sometimes some of us we're adults, right? But some of us we like to be coddled. We like the sob story. We like when we can call and vent to people, and then the reality kicks in, like Jawon just said, where life goes on. So mentally, how can you compartmentalize and still grind? You're like, yeah, there's a time for tears. Yeah, there's a time for that. But then after that, what happens? So then the second question I have for you, and I'm trying to be conscientious of time. The second question I have for you, a lot of us, we conflate our purpose, who we are, our identity with what we do, our job. And a lot of us, we want to be that 1%, right? The top of our profession. Like you made it to the NFL, the top of the profession. And then after the NFL, you still have a life. A lot of us right now, we're in that transition period where we might not necessarily like our job, but all of our lives we was told this is what we're supposed to do. And we know it's not our purpose, but hey, this is paying the bills. This is what my mom or my grandparents said I was supposed to do. What advice would you give to somebody on finding their purpose?
Pray every day. Keep going through the chaos that you're going through, even if you don't like what you're doing. I thought of this real hard yesterday when I was thinking about purpose. It's funny you asked this. My advice is keep going through daily life, keep doing what you don't want to do, so that when you do get what you want, you're gonna do what you have to do to maintain that and stay there, right? That's one. If you're doing right now what you don't like to do, I say you're getting prepared to get in that position that you're going to get into, because it's going to come, to make sure that you set and to make sure that you maintain what you got when you got it. I heard somebody say not too long ago, don't get on that stage and you ain't take those steps.
Mm-hmm.
Because those steps is going to teach you something that stage can't teach you once you get up there.
Mm-hmm.
So I understand the steps that I was taking to get up to where I'm at now 3 to 4 to 5 years ago. If I would never took those steps, if I would never learn to be controlled under chaos, if I would never learn how to go in those stores and face my fears and work in front of people that used to cheer me on and big me up, but now I'm just a regular old Jawon now. So I had to find myself once again. So the biggest thing, my advice to anybody out there that's trying to find their purpose, write 2 to 3 things down that you think is your purpose. Ask somebody, what do you see in me sometimes? How can I help? Sometimes God sends you signs, and some people think God sending you signs is always just going, hey, do this. No, sometimes it comes in signs. My mom's sitting on that balcony telling me, hey, you need to get back into the gym. You need to help out with these kids. It's me working out, and the 2 friends that got me into the day, their kids are still with me. I was driving trucks when this happened. I was working on myself, going from fat to fit. And he says, yo, you're training my son. I don't care what you say. I said, man, I don't get out the trucks at 6. You training my son, like I said. Oh, whoa. All right. The next week later after that, another friend. Hey, bro, I need you to train my son. I don't know what I'm doing. You training my son. You know what you're doing. Just like
Mm-hmm.
that. So I take them as signs, right? And then those signs turned into, I walked into a sneaker villa one day. This is a true story. I walked into a sneaker villa. I remember a girl who owns a gym now, a bigger gym in the area, but she started in this place in like a little storage spot that somebody had already weight set in there and things of that nature. I run into this guy. He's a cop in Stilton. And I say, hey, you still got that gym? This was a week after both of them told me I'm training their son. Hey, you still got that gym? He's like, yeah. I was like, all right. Is there any way I can rent it? Anything? He's like, I'll get back to you. He never got back with me. I pressed him for a month straight. Hey, where's it? Hey, man, what about the gym? Hey, what about this? What about that? He finally got in touch with me. It wasn't his gym. It was his dad's gym. His dad was like, oh, for sure, Jawon, give me $50 a month. So for $50 a
Mm-hmm.
month, I got that gym. And from going through what I was going through, I stayed in there for a month. I got my clientele up. I quit my trucking job. Just flat out. I prayed. I said, man, God, please just let me have enough money to pay this mortgage this month, which is $1,200 at the time. I made that plus more. And then the rest is history. I'm 3 years in. 2 years, 2.5, 2 years and some months in, going into 3.
I love it. I love it. And I wish we had more time, guys, because this is the mindset, right? A lot of the stuff Jawon says we've already learned, but the difference is you can't fake the mindset. But you can think that you have that mindset for today, for a week, and then when you wake up and you're lazy and you go right back. This is every single day.
Yeah.
Every day I send Jawon a picture, bro. I'm in the gym. He's like, yeah, bro, I just got done my work. Every day. It's a mindset. So with that's what I want you guys to take away from this. What is your mindset? Do me a favor. We only got like 60 seconds. Jump in the chat and just put, what is your mindset? What is your mindset? Because as we end this call, as we enter today, that's what I want you to enter today thinking about. Yeah, what is your